Gentlemen, a very warm welcome to one and all on this sunny Saturday for the 13th session of the Advanced Price Action Trading. The topic of the day is the fifth power pattern, Quasimodo, which happens to be my favorite power pattern also. Please go through the disclaimer once before we proceed. So let's take off with the fifth power pattern, Quasimodo. In English, it is also called as the over and under pattern. Okay, friends, if you go to Google, you might get the same pattern with two different names. One is Quasimodo, the other one is the over and under pattern. What is a Quasimodo? I call it the double cheater pattern. In case of flag limit, every one of you know we had one engulf. And what kind of a pattern is a flag limit? It is a continuation pattern. In case of FTR, you had two engulf, H1, H2. This is also a continuation pattern in the same direction. And the third power pattern was cap, which had an engulf in the opposite direction. But of course, in case of flag limit, there was one engulf. In caps, there was one engulf. But in caps, the engulf was in an opposite direction. In case of QM, it has two engulfs. Again, similar to FTR. But FTR had two engulfs in the same direction, while Quasimodo will have an engulf, one engulf on both sides, which ideally cheats people on either sides. Okay, and this pattern creates maximum pain to retail traders and before it moves on with its journey. So let's understand the concept better. Everyone knows this. A minor SR is formed, that is H. Price breaks that minor SR and forms a low. It forms a higher high, forms a higher low. It forms a higher high. It forms a higher low. It forms a higher high. It forms a higher low. What is happening? What is the script doing? What trend is this? The stock is in an uptrend. Can you guys draw a trend line here properly? I guess you can draw. Okay, so when the script is making higher highs and higher lows, that means it is in an uptrend. Okay, now suddenly at one point of time the price stops and comes down to break the higher low. It forms a higher high and it also forms a lower low. Clear? The moment the higher low is destroyed and a lower low is made, there is a change in the trend. Now what happens? When the change in trend happens, the script continues to form the lower highs and lower lows. That is a clear downtrend. Now the point where the trend changes and breaks the higher low, that point is called as the Quasimodo point. Quasimodo is one of the biggest turning points in a trend. Is it clear, friends? So makes a high, low, higher low and a lower low. So it broke the high, it broke the low. One engulf here, another engulf here. One engulf on the upside, one engulf on the downside, and hence we call it as a Quasimodo. Don't worry, I am going to repeat it again in the next show So the concept would be more clear. Okay, friends. Let's see the anatomy of a Quasimodo now. The price came down, went up, a low is formed. And what is that low? What kind of an SR is that? It is a minor SR. Now, and then price again reverses from that point, forms a high, and that is also a minor SR. And when it comes down, it makes a lower low. Okay, and a higher high. Can you get the pattern? It formed a low, it formed a high, it formed a lower low, and it formed a higher high. When this kind of a pattern emerge, that point is called as a Quasimodo point, and the zone between the low and the lower low is called as a demand Quasimodo. And when price comes into that zone, price can expect it to be reacted. And this is more or less in similar with your head and shoulder patterns. You have a left shoulder, you have a head, you have a right shoulder. Okay, most of these patterns work because there is price action behind them. It is not that it is some pattern which works, there is price action behind them. Okay, friends. Now let's see this. Price is going up, it forms a high, comes down, it forms a low, again comes down, it forms a higher high and also a lower low. So what happened here? There is a high, there is a low, there is a higher high, there is a lower low. So that level is called as a Quasimodo level, and that is zone is called as a supply Quasimodo zone. And when price comes there, it can react, and that is the place where you can trade. So why it is double cheating? Why it is double cheating? Okay, now let me do this. Okay, you understood the pattern. Let me explain you the fundamental essence of a Quasimodo and why it is an interesting pattern. It is engulfing on both sides. That's why it is a double cheater pattern. Let's say this, friends, this is a high, you all know it. Now price is going in a uptrend. Okay, and price came down, stopped somewhere. Okay, now what happened here? What happened here? Don't you think that the moment this high is broken, many people will go long here? What do you call those people as? People who takes trade when an high is broken. What do you call them? Who trades, enters? They are breakout traders. Excellent. There are breakout traders. These breakout traders, what they do, they will try to enter once the high is broken. And where is the stop loss? The stop loss is somewhere here. Yes or no? And this breakout fellow might get entry at the point, because see, all these breakout traders, the indicator based traders generally don't get the precise entry like price action traders, because they don't know exact points of reversals. Now they are going up. So what happens when price goes up and comes down? All their trades are killed, their stop losses are eaten. Wherever you have kept your stop losses, you are eaten. So these breakout traders on the upside has been destroyed, which means a pain is created. Now what happens? Price comes down. Price comes down, it breaks the low. Then what is this? What kind of traders are these people? What are they going to do? They're going to short here, right? Because the low is broken. And where is the stop loss? They'll put a stop loss here. And these fellows enter here, here, wherever they get a chance to enter after breakout, they think price is going down. I need to get inside. But at that point, what happens? The price reverses, takes away all the stop losses and eats away all the stop losses in the journey, and destroys all the breakout traders on the downside. It has cheated the upside guys, it has cheated the downside guys, which technically means there is double side cheating, and in that process, maximum damage is made on either sides, and retailers will go on a havoc. They'll not know what to do. They are confused on both sides. At that time, maximum pain is created, and the distance between the high and the higher high is called as the Quasimodo level. This line is called the QML line. QML line. This top is called as the MPL line. It's called maximum pain limit. Is it complex? It's only simple. There are only a high and a low. It is trying to cheat breakout traders on two directions. Okay. So what happens when price comes back? This is the line. This line is called as the QML line. Which is this line? Let me clear everything, please. Yeah, this H, this top of this first high is the QML line. So generally when price comes here, it will react exactly at that point. Okay, this is called QML. Okay, and price would react. Eventually price might even come here and react, but the top is called as the maximum pain limit, MPL. Because beyond, if price breaks this point, the pain can be much more severe. There can be an exponential pain. Can we call the proximal and distal line combined form a Quasimodo? No, the distance between the high and the higher high, this is the zone, which is generally the zone where we have to trade, and this can be the entry point, this can be the stop loss. But what if it's too big? If it is too big, we need to act in a different way. That we will discover in the subsequent candles, subsequent slides rather. So how to trade these patterns, we will realize in the subsequent slides. Don't worry about that. And let's come to the power pattern Quasimodo. Till now, what we understood is there is a pattern. Okay, what kind of a pattern? It has to be a high, low, higher high, lower low, or it can be a low, high, lower low, higher high. That's just a pattern. That's just a Quasimodo pattern, and it cannot be a tradable pattern. So for a pattern to become a tradable pattern or a power pattern, there are some requirements. Here is the process. The price is falling down, it forms a base and comes down. If there is nothing on the left side, what is this called? Quick friends, it is an authentic zone. Now what is a, it is an authentic supply zone because it is a drop based drop. Okay, then what happens? Price retraces, forms a low, forms a high, forms a lower low and a higher high. So what happened here? Before the higher high is formed, it has to break an authentic supply zone to clearly declare that it is a perfect Quasimodo pattern. Okay, so always we look for authentic supply zone to break. In case of a demand Quasimodo, we look for an authentic demand zone to break in case of a supply Quasimodo. What did I do? I just took the low. In this case, again I'm repeating, there is a low, high, lower low, higher high. I'm taking the low, I'm taking the lower low, joining them. That is my zone. I might enter here, I might exit. Stop loss can be here. So if price comes, I can look for a trade. Okay, now so they are the distal lines and proximal lines. When price comes there, there can be a reaction. Okay. Now, I am repeating the whole concept all over again for everyone with a long pattern. Um, I did. Okay. Please focus here. Price is falling down. So what is this? This is an authentic supply. Drop, base, drop. Now, price formed a low. Then it formed a high. It formed a lower low. And then it went, broke the authentic supply and formed a higher high. So can you see the pattern here? Is there a Quasimodo pattern? Do you see that the low is broken and high is broken? Both sides breakout traders destroyed. Yes, they are destroyed. And now look at it. Now can you look at it, friends? Now at the low level, there is a QM that I took one base there. I took now two. When I am drawing lines, you will not understand the QM level and MPL level. I purposefully wrote this to mark it. The authentic supply zone has to be above the high, not always, need not be, need not be, need not be. Okay. Now look at this pattern here. A low is formed, a lower low is formed. But if you mark the zone between the low and the lower low, okay. In fact, which is the zone between the lower low? I was telling you guys. This is the zone. This is the point. This is the low point. This is the lower low point. Okay. Many cases, what happens, since the base is here, the price can come there and also react from here only. It may not even touch your point. Okay, many times what happens, this is also like your cap, like your source of engulf, origin of engulf. There are two levels there. Okay, we need to look at a probable thing based on a risk appetite and take it suitably. When price comes there, it can react from the QM level, or it can come back to MPL. It can react from there also. Is it complex or is it simple? I will wait for 10 seconds for queries and then I will proceed further. MPL means maximum pain limit, because think about it. There is an engulf of the low, there is an engulf of the high, and if your lower low is also engulfed, that can be a much more severe pain, a deadly dangerous pain. There is a question, is it a W pattern? It is not a W pattern. It is not a W pattern because I will tell you it is why it is not a W pattern. Low, high, lower low. Show me the W here. Don't expect always chatter pattern to form like this only. Okay, a pattern can come like this also. Okay, never look for W, always look for low, high, lower low, higher high. Okay, you can imagine W or M, that is fine, that's your choice, but it might not practically. Okay, so I am going to repeat the same concept on the reverse side one last time. Everyone should connect with me. Satish, I missed your question. Can you reframe it properly once again? Price is going up. It formed a rally base rally, and on the left side of this particular zone there is nothing, and I consider this a fresh zone, so it is an authentic zone. When price goes up, forms a high, reacts, forms a low, price goes higher high, forms a drop based rally. Okay, and finally price breaks the authentic zone and forms a lower low. I see a high, I see a low, I see a higher high and a lower low. Okay, the higher high broke the high, the lower low has broken the low. So upside and downside, both side people have been cheated. And this point of time, that tip of high is called as the QM level. Okay, depending upon the zone formation, we need to take a choice of trading. Okay, and then that zone is a QM zone, and the top is called as an MPL level, and that zone is called as an MPL zone. And price can retrace anywhere and react suitably, and you as a trader, you can make a choice to trade at any point of your choice. Is it clear, friends? Cutting through zones even work in this. So when you say cutting through the zones, like how many times cutting, where it has to cut, how does this entire pattern represent in a higher time frame? That's a lovely question. I will come to that. Park it for now. Okay, is it clear, friends? Simply, Quasimodo is a double cheater. It engulfs on the upside, it engulfs on the downside. If it breaks a high and forms a higher high, if it breaks a low and forms a lower low, together at the same time, a Quasimodo is formed. If an authentic zone is killed, a power pattern Quasimodo is formed. If the power Quasimodo is pattern, if M pattern is called, it is shorting. If W is formed, it is going long. In case of a downward trend, it is in case of a downward trend, it is you need to look for a short opportunity in Quasimodo, because in a downward trend you don't get a W. Most of the times you get a M only. Sir, L to touch at SR, no relation, no relation. The first RBD is cut through, then the zone is working again at the retracement level, which you have named as Quasimodo. The Quasimodo level is the H. The tip, that line is called as the Quasimodo level. This line is the Quasimodo level, that high. What is actually this? Head, shoulder left, head, and then shoulder 3. And finally it might go up and come down, but this is the right shoulder, this is the left shoulder, and this is the head. Okay, sorry, Hari, multiple kinds of patterns emerges. When we go into examples, you get better clarity. Okay. Okay, somebody asks, sir, how does it look in higher time frame? If you go to a higher time frame, this is what you see. This is your H, this is your L, this is your higher high, this is your lower low. It is just a bearish engulfing candle in a higher time frame. How many of you understand this? A Quasimodo is nothing but a strong bearish or bullish engulfing in a higher time frame. And what kind of a pattern is this? Let me see. What is this? What kind of a candlestick pattern is this? Anybody? It is an outside bar. It is of course bearish engulfing, but it is an outside bar where the high is higher than the previous candle, the low is lower than the previous candle. That's it. It is just an outside bar. It is an Quasimodo on a higher time frame. Is an outside bar, and hence it is easy for coding. How many of you understand? I was telling Quasimodo is very easy to code. I can code it. I can code Quasimodo because it is just a simple outside bar in a higher time frame. Okay. So finally, what exactly it was doing? It was just creating the zones that we mark. It formed a high. It formed a high. It formed a low. It formed a higher high. It formed a lower low. This is your Quasimodo level. Sorry. I am sorry. This guide tracked me everywhere. This is the Quasimodo level. This is the MPL level. This is a zone we have to trade. Or there can be two Chotu zones on either sides, and we will dynamically decide which one we have to trade. Is this clear, friends? Quasimodo on a higher time frame is just a simple outside bar and nothing else. So can we use those candlestick patterns of on higher time frame look for trade-off? Yes, you can do that. If you find an outside bar on a higher time frame, you go lower, you will find a Quasimodo and check if that Quasimodo has an authentic zone broken. And once that authentic zone is broken, that becomes a clear power pattern 5. So the open and close has nothing to do. The open and close of the candles have nothing to do with a pattern like this. The high is broken, low is broken. That's it. Both sides you have gone eaten the stop loss of the breakout traders. Don't tell me that only close went and ate the stop loss. What is the meaning of Quasimodo? I don't know. Quasimodo, okay. The one meaning is in the olden ancient scriptures, there was a henchman. Henchman is a character, a human who's always bent. Um, a henchman is man whose spine is not straight, whose backbone is not straight. So he was called as a Quasimodo. Okay, so when eventually forming a lower low and price comes to that point, which is this QML level, we look forward for the very first trade. Okay, and there are many times QML breaks, it will work at MPL level. Okay, even there are times when Quasimodo often breaks, which can emerge into a diamond. There are multiple scenarios there. So let's talk about the next interesting topic, a QM inside a QM. Okay, these are all the most intricate stuffs which would make your trading powerful. Okay, which will make your trading powerful. There was no authentic zone in this slide because the purpose of this slide is just to convey that a Quasimodo in a higher time frame is an outside bar. So don't expect me to every time write it. I clearly made it very clear that an authentic zone should be broken. That is the rule. Here, the purpose is not to again put the complete Quasimodo scenario. Here, I am just telling it is an outside bar. It will be there inside. Where will it be inside? Somewhere hidden in the higher time frame candle. If you zoom it and go into lower, it will emerge. You need to go deeper. No, higher time frame. There are only two candles. Where will I find it? Great, perfect. So Disha says, what if momentum candle is present at QM level? That will figure out. Okay, please park the question for now. I will take it up in the subsequent slides. When we look into practical examples, we will get a fair idea about it. All right. So friends, Quasimodo has wide variety of scenarios. Quasimodo is not just a simple pattern where high, low, higher, high, lower, the authentic zone broken. Quasimodo can emerge in multiple ways. Okay, that is the whole reason why I seriously wanted to spend full day on Quasimodo, but unfortunately, so public demanded that they wanted diamond and dancing lady pattern. I had to bring it inside the system, and I don't think I would be having full time to teach everything in Quasimodo, because Quasimodo itself will need at least one day. No, it is that wide for me. Okay, there are so many scenarios that can be addressed in case of a Quasimodo, which I've learned. Okay, now let's come back to it now. The supply QM inside a QM. So going forward, we will not say Quasimodo, we will say QM for easiness. Now price formed a high. Okay, now you need to connect with me. This is probably sixth or seventh time I'm saying this. As time progress, I am not going to tell it again and again. Price forms a low, price forms a higher high, and price forms a lower low. Okay, when this is happened, a Quasimodo has formed. Clear? This is over, this is under. That is the whole reason it is called an over and under pattern. The high is broken here, the low is broken here. So the breakout traders are destroyed on both locations. As a result, this is a classic Quasimodo. Okay, now let's say, friends, now in the process of forming this Quasimodo, here in this region, a similar minor Quasimodo has happened. How many of you can make out that? How many of you can make out that? There is a high, there is a low. There, let me take a different color. That would be best. Pen color should be dark blue. Okay. So there is a high, there is a low, there is a higher high, there is a lower low. Correct? Exactly. That is also a Quasimodo. That is a Quasimodo inside a Quasimodo. Disha was asking, where should I trade? When you are trading Quasimodos, you need to know certain additional things. These are all special scenarios which will emerge, and many people don't even know such scenarios. Okay. So now when price comes here, you need to see how the candlestick. I hope every one of you clearly understand the source of engulf, origin of engulf. Okay, I am damn sure about it. Right? When you have to go to the source of engulf to take a trade, and you have to know, you have to go to the origin of engulf to take the higher trade. I mean, not at the, I mean upper trade. Okay, much higher in terms of the level. Same thing holds good here also in Quasimodo. There's nothing like this is a point you need to take a trade. Okay, it is a flexible point, and depending upon your risk appetite, you can take the trade. Is it clear, friends? Now, what has happened? Now, technically, this guy who went on to become the lower low not only broke the low of the first Quasimodo, but it also broke the low of the second intermediate Quasimodo. Such points are very powerful patterns. They can do wonders when it comes to this zone to trade, because QML point itself is a special point. In that point, if you see a special pattern, that is a double decker. I will give you an interesting thought now. What if there is a cap here? What if price comes down? Okay, goes up, rally, base, rally, base, drop, authentic zone broken, and comes down. What you will do? You will see a cap inside a Quasimodo, no? How many of you connect to me? If you say yes to me, okay? At that time, you need to, what will you do in case of a cap? You will go back to the source of engulf. From there, you will also go to the origin of engulf to take a trade. Now this is a QML level. Every one of us know that this is a QML level. How do you know that there is a high, there is a high, there is a low, there is a higher high, and there is a lower low? And every time I am not going to put a demand authentic zone for it to broken. Please assume it is there. Friends, assume it is there. Okay, now what happened in that journey? It also formed a Chotu Quasimodo, low, high, lower, low, higher, high. And if this Chotu Quasimodo happens to become create at the strong already existing level, what does that mean? The level has a par. It's a double confirmation that you can look for a very good trade at this point. And every time it need not be a Quasimodo. I am telling when price, okay, I'll write this pattern here. Price gone up, comes down, okay. And then what it did? Rally, base, rally, base. This is an authentic zone. Drop. When this happens, what is this? What is this? What are the four rules of caps? An authentic demand zone formed, rally based drop happens, authentic demand zone destroyed, cap is formed. When it retraces, you take a trade, and this is not just a cap. It is not only a cap, it is the QML level of the Quasimodo. The cap level is also a QML level of a Quasimodo, and it is like double confirmation. Is it clear, friends? That is the beauty. Okay. See, price action is not about just flag limits, FTRs, caps, and of course, if you blindly, strictly follow that, our 35% pass, 30% just pass will happen, and definitely we get our 40% CAGR. That is fine. But if you want to really understand the pulse of the journey, you need to see what all price has been continuously doing. So this reading takes a lot of time because these are all extremely advanced stuffs. If you guys have reached a level where today you know all the teaching that we have given in the last two sessions of advanced price action, you are far ahead in the game. Okay, and as I told, it is a starting point. There's a lot more to practice, and you guys should spend at least create like 100, 500,000 charts in your journey. Let's move on. Here is the split up of the same story. So this is a QML, correct? This is the MPL, correct, friends? This is the MPL. Don't you think this is the MPL of the Chotu Quasimodo? Yes or no? Yes, Rangaji, yes. Okay, there is a Chotu MPL. Why it is MPL? High, low, higher high, lower low, over, under. And what exactly happened? If you look at a bigger view, it is just two candles. What candle? The high and low of the current big candle is higher than the high and low of the previous candle. And what bar is this? What bar is this? It is an outside bar. Tomorrow, be very clear that a Quasimodo is an outside bar and a higher time frame. Simple. Now, A supply QM hidden inside a supply QM. I'm repeating the whole story once again for the benefit of everyone. So price forms a high, forms a low, forms a higher high. Before it forms the lower low, it comes down, forms a high low, higher high, lower low. So when that is formed, this is an MPL. Why? Because that is the peak of the Quasimodo higher high. This is the next MPL. Okay, now price, once it comes back to this point, this zone, we will take a trade, and after that it can even comes up to the upper Quasimodo level and then bounce from there. It can do both. Not only that, when price is traveling, see what it is doing here. What is this? Low, high, lower low, higher high. What is this? What is this level, friends? It is a QM demand level because it formed a low, high, lower low, higher high on the downside. Your W, rather your W. When that happens, you have a QM between a QM. You can always trade between the two QM levels. You short at the QM, you wait for target at QM, or you go long at the QM, wait for the short covering at the QM. If the low is not broken, then there is no QM pattern. We clearly said there has to be a high, low, higher high, lower low, plus authentic zone broken to become a power pattern. That's all. Is it necessary that price always retrace to QM level? It may, it may not. Nothing is guaranteed. Price is coming to QM level, suddenly Modi loses election in Madhya Pradesh. You think price will say, no, let's go kiss Quasimodo and then only come up? Nothing is impossible. Anything can happen. So if you are a conservative trader, okay, you can always see there are two things. In fact, if you guys are willing to trade here, let me say this. Okay, all that I can say is you can trade at this point, entry stop loss. This is your proximal. This is your distal. What will you guys do? What kind of a trade you take here? Don't ask me whether I should take long and short, and please you should not tell me anymore that Ashok, you're not telling where you are trading. When I say proximal distal, when I say zone, that's where I'm trading, and it's very clear that I'm going to go short or long suitably. Okay, now look at this. There is a very clear problem here. Look at this zone. This QML level is this, the MPL level is this. It's too big. In such scenarios, definitely we need to split. Okay, it is safe. Hit here, broken, take stop loss, wait for this level, always take it. If it is too small, let's say if it is like this, then to ठीक है, very chotu. We can combine both. Okay, so that is the maximum pain limit. MPL stands for maximum pain limit. Okay, broken should be considered with how much percentage? Say for example, low is 104, next low is 1. Yes, if low is 104 and lower low is 103.9, it is still broken. A kiss by 0.1 is also broken. That is the best cheating anybody can do, right? What does that mean? If your low was 104, it come kisses 103.9 and go up. What does that mean? Use your brain now. Why it actually went up? There were so many pending orders there, it kissed and went up. You should be extremely happy. Next time it comes there again, it will react. What are you guys looking for? You're looking for strong levels where there are pending orders. If you are low and lower next to each other, If it is reacting so strongly, what does that mean? There are a lot of pending orders at that point. Yes or no? Has it been interesting so far? Confusing, painful, difficult, interesting, good, liking, disliking? Go ahead. So, so in fact, as I told, I need at least one full day. For Quasimodo itself, I can take 2 day session. It is such a vibrant pattern. Okay, and it is my favorite baby. So my mission is to only trade Quasimodos in my life. Okay, if people don't understand, don't worry, go back to the sessions once again, watch the recordings. You should be good enough. Okay, now how does the demand QM look inside a demand QM? Here you go. Low, high, lower low, higher high. Okay, so that has formed the pattern. But in the journey, what it did, it also formed a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high, which is a Chotu Quasimodo inside the big Quasimodo. Okay, which means this is the QML level of the bigger Quasimodo, and that happens to be the QML level of the smaller Quasimodo also. Yes or no, friends? There are two QMLs there. The QML of the mother Quasimodo, the QML of the child Quasimodo is same. So which means you can always take a trade here with stop loss here. If it breaks by any chance, you can take a trade with stop loss here. But this is being very big. Probably we will look for splitting of the zones, and we will look for this trade also when price comes in future. If price comes to the mother level, it can also retrace. So out of the books you have recommended, where can I find this chapter? No, none of the books talks about Quasimodo. Ashok, why do you say your Quasimodo is favorite? I like Quasimodos because it creates maximum pain and it can give a minimum of one up to 1:5 risk reward aram se. Only thing is I need to have the talent to reach 50% win rate in Quasimodo. If I'm able to do that, it's easy, and at the same time I can do a lot of programming on Quasimodo. The other patterns are little difficult because there are a lot of engulfing, because Quasimodo is crystal clear on a higher time frame. It's an outside bar and it's pretty easy for a programmer like me to manage it. If price catches the demand Quasimodo level, what should be the target? The opposite power pattern can be a target. Minimum 1:3 can be a target. If there is too much of compression, the origin of compression can be a target. Target is a relative term. Is this slide clear, friends? Okay, I will wait for 10 seconds and then I will move on. All right. Okay, now the story gets bigger. In higher time frame, both on demand QM look alike. How do I distinguish? You tell me, how does an outside bar look like? How does an outside bar look like? What is this? High, low, higher high, lower low. High, low, higher high, lower low. It broke the low, it broke the high. Is it clear? What? How does it look like in other conditions? How does it look like? It looks like this. That's all. The things gets reversed. Okay. Ultimately, it's all same. You will see two candles. That's all. One bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing, but the engulfing happens with a very clear outside bar. Is it necessary for a child QM to form to trade at the mother? No, never. I never said that. But a child QM forms at the mother QM level, then it is powerful, is what I am telling. You can we say bearish engulfing is supply QM? No, no. You can never say that. Why? What is this, friends? What is this? This is a bearish engulfing. This is a bearish engulfing. Okay, then where is the high? This is like this: high, low, higher high. It's not broken anything. It has to break, right? It has to break this low. So I'm sorry, it should be written like this actually. High, low, higher high, stopped here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's come back. Okay, sir. Understood. In W pattern, it's long. In M pattern, it's short. You can say that, but technically, don't expect classic W and M to form in real markets. In anatomy, yes, you might get it. Now let's go deeper. High, low, higher high, lower low formed. Okay. Now it can come and trade here. Why? Because this is your QML level. When price comes to QML level, there was a base formation. So definitely that's a good zone to trade. You can trade. Disha, answer to your question. Okay, there will be some base. Price will not just break. If it is just breaking, let's say it goes like this. Okay, high, low, higher high. Suppose it breaks like this. What you will do? There is no zone. If there is no source of engulf, where will you take the trade? If there is no source of engulf, friends, where will you take the trade? If price is extremely falling down and there is no source of engulf that is formed, the base is not formed, what does your origin becomes? Our origin itself is the source of engulf, and origin is the place where you have to trade. We spoke about it. There are two kinds of caps. Where the origin and source of engulf is at the same location, it can be at a different location. Okay, now look at this scenario: high, low, high, low, higher high, lower low. Okay, now there was no base. Exactly at that peak point there would be some formation. You can take a trade there. Everything is same. Now look at this. This is beautiful. High, low, higher high, lower low. But here what happened? Between high and higher high, there was a midpoint. These are all flavors of Quasimodo. Okay. Why should I take this as high? I'll take this as high, low, higher high, lower low. If somebody argues with me, why did you change the QML level? This is why I took it. Which ideally means this also can be a QML level. This is also a QML level. It's a QM above a QM now. I naturally it's what? What do you mean by these two? In our common language, is it not level over level? When level over level is there, what do? We go to the higher level to ensure that we don't get faked out. Is it clear, friends? I will give 10 more seconds pause before I move on. Okay, that's interesting. People have understood. Thank you. Now this is a classic supply QM. We have been repeating the same thing again and again so that it clearly enters into your mind. Friends, what is this? What is this? It's a flag limit zone. How many of you recognize that? If you have not found it, I'm sorry. You need to go back and see the video. An SR, at the point of SR, when the zone is broken, a base is formed, a Chotu base is formed, and then momentum candles happen. How many of you are with me? And that is called as a flag limit zone. If price comes, we take a trade there technically. Okay. Anyway, so now don't creep that it is not worked. Don't worry about that. Whether that zone worked or we don't know how the candle formations are there, but that zone there is some strength. That much there is that point there is some action. That much we should know at this point of time. If it has failed a flag limit, don't care. We are not telling 100% flag limits will work anyway. So we are saying even 35% is phenomenal for us. Now, so what happened? This high, low, higher high, lower low. And the same lower low is the low, high, lower low, higher high. Hence, this is the supply QML, this is the demand QML. Okay, that is your demand QML. Now, what happened? What happened when price here there is again a mother chotu, high, low, higher, high, higher, lower, low, which means this point is like double QML level. Okay, there is a QML here because of the mother, and there is a QML. This QML, there are two QMLs because there are two Quasimodos coinciding there. The mother Quasimodo, child Quasimodo. So at that point of time, when it comes, you can take an entry, and if there is no no zones, nothing, you can always look the bottom as a target. Of course, in this journey, this guy can throw some resistance, this guy can throw some resistance. That is normal. You need to make a decision based on how the chart has emerged. Okay, is it clear, friends? This trade is clear. It's a journey from a supply QM to a demand QM. How a QM price can always travel between QM to a QM. It can go from demand QM to a supply QM, from there to another demand QM. It can keep moving also. Is it very clear? Finally, I'm drawing once more, one last time. High, low, higher high, it's coming down, high, low, higher high, lower low, and it formed a much lower low to the mother Quasimodo, and then low, high, lower low, higher high. What is the MPL of supply point here? You tell me which is the MPL. This is MPL1. This is MPL2. At the top, it is naturally a cap. It's a kind of cap only because price is coming back. You can use chart. See, some people can sometimes use line charts instead of candlesticks to identify them. But as time progresses, you will automatically make out. Okay. This is the mother of all QMs, the power QM. Okay. And this is one of my favorite QM patterns. I love it. And there are reasons for it. So friends, look at this. This you all know. High, low, higher high, lower low. Okay. Okay. This is the point. This is the MPL ideally. Okay. Because that's a point. This is wrong. All right. Now, what has happened? The moment high, low, higher high, lower low is broken, automatically here we declare, at this point we declare that this MPL is active. Yes or no? Okay. Now what happened? Price now, see, now what happened? Price is reversing back. Okay. High, this is the point of your QML. This is your QML level. This is your QML level. You want to take a trade there. You're waiting for a trade there. But what happened? Price comes, forms a resistance, comes down. Okay. And creates a minor SR. And it comes again, second time it falls down. Again, third time it falls down. Okay. Which means this QM is the Dawood QM. How many of you remember? Chota Shakil, Chota Rajan, Abu Salim, where the big boss is waiting here. Dawood is sitting here to destroy the opponent if they come. So in such scenarios, if there is a stiff resistance just below a QM level, any fake out will come to the QM level, you will get an amazing trade. The reason this is the most beautiful and enlightened trade is that it gives you double confidence. You know it's a QML, you know it's an MPL, and there is a stiff resistance just below it, which means you are protected. There are hell lot of pending orders at your level. I hope we had spoken about this scenario. I gave the same example, Dawood and his gang. Always remember this is a thumb rule. Okay. Whenever there is a power pattern, if by any chance the Dawood gang emerges below your power pattern is Dawood. Okay. That is the message and lesson here. This is a fantastic pattern because if these guys are pushed here, imagine there are a lot of pending orders, which means these pending orders are fresh and very powerful. Okay, very powerful level it is because already price is kicked here. Sellers are very strong here. If sellers are strong, you think this guy is dummy? Okay, whenever you form a major SR with multiple stops below a power pattern, it is Dawut pattern. Okay, let's use the term Dawut pattern so that we all be in common page. Here is the first example of Quasimodo. Okay, so this is the high, this is the high, this is the low, your higher high and lower low. So there is no M there. You can't say this is M. Understand? So always don't look for your M, friends. Don't get carried away by M. Observe carefully, you will get your level. Okay, and this is a QML level. And this top is the MPL. So this is the entry. If the zone is small, this is the stop loss. And if it comes here, I will take a trade. This stop loss is MPL. Entry is what level? QML. Okay, see, price comes back into the zone, kisses that point and falls down. Here the QM zone is very big. How do we manage? How do we manage? So now let's go back. Okay, so now price has broken. See here, rally, base, drop. This is a zone. We will not trade here because that is not QML level. No, we will not take. Where is the next point? The next point is, okay, the next point is this rally, base, drop. So this guy is the next point. You can wait here to take the trade. No problem. Once price comes, it can react there also. No worries. Here in this case, tell me why this trade was taken. Tell me exactly why that point line trade was taken. How many of you can tell me why exactly this point trade is taken? Because that was the high, exactly high point. Exactly, you are right that this 1:3 zone is big. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1:5, more than 1:5 it gave. So if it is too big, don't do. If it is too big, don't ever hesitate to wait till the price comes to your MPL level. Your risk would be 50%. So this becomes your entry, the proximal line. This becomes your stop loss, the distal line. Nobody stops you. That is your right. It's your choice. Okay, as a you know facilitator, or as a a guy who directs you or supports you, I don't put strict norms here. It's your choice. You can play however you want. Look at this interesting guy. Low, high, lower low, higher high. At this point we got this QML level, correct? Because once higher is 1, the low wherever is stopped is a QML level, and this guy is the MPL. Okay, so this is the risk. Now this much risk I have. Now where to trade? Okay, but remember at QML level there is a beautiful drop based drop. Can you make it out, friends? Is it not a I'm sorry, it's a rally based rally. It's a rally based rally. Okay, and finally here also there is one, their zone here is not at all clear, because it is base rally. Draw base, base, base. The whole thing is base. I guess this is the only authentic thing because the source of engulf is this. Everyone understand that this is QML level, correct? Now, when QML is confirmed, we wait for this level. Then what happened? This is a strong momentum candle. This guy. Where is the source of engulf? This is a point where it engulfed. Okay, and we are not going to take wick to wick. Okay, if you take wick to wick, you already got a trade here. I guess yes. If you take wick to wick, this guy gave a trade. But I will take always body to wick because wick to wick is too big. This is where I want to trade. Okay, at the QML level. Now what happened? See here. 3 times it stopped. 1, 2, 3 times. So this guy is Dawood. Abu Salim, Chota Shakil, Chota Rajan. So this guy, when it comes, it can give good reaction. Okay. Yes, this is a rally based rally. You're right. Okay. Finally, we always trade FTB. To be honest with you, I will take this trade only. This trade I will not even take. But here 1:3 I got now. 1, 2, 3. I got 1:5 also. Aram se I've got. Okay. So don't ever think beyond 1:5, even if it's an excellent pattern. Okay. Go for 1:5, 1:10 only when there is compression. So Balu sir has been loving compression these days. Compression is beautiful, friends. Compression results in free fall. Whenever you see compression, forget about risk reward 1:3. Always go for 1:5, 1:10. How much ever compression offers, the bottom of the compression will definitely will be kissed. All right. So we come to the end of the first session. So we are able to finish the session very early. Okay. So after this, we will go deeply into a lot of examples of QM. All right. So or else what we can do is we can continue. We can continue and take up the second session also. We can merge it with a single show. So what do you guys think? Okay. So we will better continue. Okay. So QMs are the fifth most powerful price action patterns in the advanced price action story, and it is also called as an over and under pattern. I call it as double-ended cheater strategy. Okay. It is tradable only when an authentic zone is engulfed, which we clearly mentioned. Always look for price action behavior in between the QL and the MPL. What do you mean by that? Now in the previous example, we saw rally based rally, very clear structure. Okay, so at QML level. So that is a zone we took. And in at the QML level, there can be a to child QM also, which we saw in many examples. You can play them also. Okay, and always focus on the fake out before the QM levels. What is fake out? The QM with a fake out, the Dawood pattern. All right, friends. So if there's any questions, I will take it up. If there are no questions, we will go into many more examples. I have some 20 examples to share. Okay. So thank you very much. So let us get into the session of examples. Okay. Now let's deep dive into the Quasimodo pattern. So this example we already saw. Example 1. This is the one we saw. All right. And the second example also we saw. Let's go to the future examples. Can we trade based on engulfing on higher time frame? So what does that mean? If it engulfs on higher time frame only, this Quasimodo will form. Just that in Quasimodo level, there can be hundreds of candles. At the higher time frame, you will have 1 or 2 candles. Okay. Sure, Prabhu. All right. Okay. Now look at this example. So this is a QML level. Why it's QML? High, low, higher high, lower low. This is a point. Okay. Then what happened? Price came here. It formed the Dawood army. Chota Rajan, Abu Salim, Chota Shakil. Okay. Once you reach there, what has happened? Fake out R1, R2, fake out R3, finally entry. The moment this zone is faked out, it comes into the QML, it booms. That is why this pattern is superior. QM with fake out. In order to draw QML and MPL, you don't have to go to lower time frame, friends. You can mark something in higher time frame at the same, your trading time frame. If you don't find a good pattern, I don't mind. You go lower time frame, wherein your risk will become small, and you always have the risk of not getting a trade also. Remember, it's your right to go and reduce your risk. That's your choice. Nobody stops you, but that process will result in missing the trade also. There is always a trade-off. Okay, so this is Dawood pattern for you. Okay, here is also another similar pattern. Okay, now I will not show you how to mark QML and all. Okay, there is a QML there. Okay, again it faked out 1 2 times. Okay, and finally it came into the zone and it just gave a kiss entry. And how many of you can see this compression? What is this? Compression and compression and the liquidity spike. And after spike, what happened? Price came into the zone and see the fall. It came exactly to the origin of compression. Balu sir, your favorite here. How many things happened? There is a QML level. Imagine how many things have been submerged here. How many of you know that you have learned 35 new concepts in the entire journey of price action trading? 35 things you have learned in total, or you will be learning. I'll show you in the summary slides end of the day. So there was a QML, there was a Dawood pattern, there was compression, there was liquidity spec, and definitely this trade was entitled to work. Okay. Fake out in this case is 3TB, it is not 3TB, it is FTB only for the QML level. Yes, for this level it is a 3TB, fine, but to the QML level it is not 3TB. For QML level it is FTB only. Okay. Okay, so see, there are two things, friends. So there are two things here. Many times what happens, some of the most of the price action traders, they believe that for a Quasimodo an authentic zone to be broken. Okay, there are many instances where trades are taken even when authentic zones are not broken. So now when we start this 1000 chart project, we need to look at QMs where authentic zone is broken and QMs where authentic zone is not broken, and take a trade off and see who has the highest probability of win rate. I don't think anybody would have done that project so far, and that is one project which I will drive post I3T3. Okay, now this is a repetition of the same example. So this is some QML level. Okay, so there is a stoppage R1, R2, R3. Okay, price went and came down. Don't expect every time to come down like this. Even this is an R3. Okay, then finally it faked out into the QML trade and gave the trade. So that zone is a fake out zone, but it's a QML zone. So you will find such patterns. You will find a lot of patterns, but you need to search for it. But it is worth searching. If we can find 100 patterns in a year in the 200 stocks that we have, what more we want? That's good enough. Okay. And this gets interesting. This is very clear. Low, high, lower low, higher high. So if I take the whole zone, what will be my total zone? It will be like this much. This is my zone. So definitely I cannot trade this. Okay. So there is a trade-off. So don't think when we did the anatomy, you took high and higher high, low and lower low, created a box and called it a Quasimodo zone. No, yes, I agreed. I'm not denying that part. But in reality, it's not possible because of the sizes of the zones. But then what happened? This everyone agrees that exactly the low level. So the only way to trade Quasimodo is you draw the QML line first. You draw the QML line. Look at the moment high is broken. High is broken here. Go come back to the origin of engulf. Look for a drop based rally or whatever. Take that zone, mark it, wait for the trade. To be honest, he took a trade here, but this is also a big zone. One good thing is there was fake out here. So this is Chota Rajan, Chota Shakil, Abu Salim. So this QML is Dawood. MPL is always lower low. This is MPL always. MPL is always lower low. It never changes. But try to understand how the trade was taken. That's all. And this is an answer to Disha. Okay. So fake out means without reaching the QML, if it bounces multiple times, that's a fake out. Yeah. That is what is the Dawood pattern, which means below your QML level, there is a strong resistance. There is a strong pressure there. Is there an AFL to screen all stocks? Quasimodo, yes, because it's just an outside bar. That code I have written. I guess I have it. I can share it with every one of you. But remember, price action is all about taking 100 to 200 trades per year. So don't expect to trade 1000 trades only. You will make money. Okay. Okay. Now, see, sometimes you can always look for authentic zones. Okay, look at this. Drop, base, drop. This is an authentic zone. This authentic zone is broken. So this is a good Quasimodo. Okay. So only point is so there are sometimes I have seen many Quasimodo patterns amazingly working without even finding the concept of authentic zone. But let's keep authentic zone as a part of our rule book and let's verify which kind of pattern is perfect. Okay. Yes. Okay. So Hari says he can see smaller QM patterns at those points at S1, S2, S3. Okay. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. I don't see high, low. Okay, if you take this as low, high, lower, low, higher, high, you can even take it like that. But how do you trade? Then you need to have clarity in the stuff, no? Okay. See, if you go to lower time frame, there can be a Quasimodo here. I'm not denying that. There can be another Quasimodo here. But we are looking at a execution time frame. My execution time frame is this. If my execution time frame is hourly, definitely I don't bother what is happening in 5 minutes. So if your execution time frame is 5 minutes, you go and figure if there is anything. Okay. Okay. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. This is what you are telling. Got it, Hari. Got it. But remember, this is not an authentic zone, no, because it's a reaction. See, always remember when you are low, high, lower, low, higher, high, this zone should be fresh, authentic zones. That's when they are powerful. Here, this is on some zone which is a agreed price stopped here. Every time it price, it doesn't mean that it is a Quasimodo because this zone has been tested 3 times. This is some zone, normal zone. Yes, you need to focus on authenticity. Remember, what are you doing? You are after all looking for pending order locations, and that zone you think there will be pending orders. Naturally, it will break the fourth time. Three stops, fourth time it has to break. Then if you try to do so, stunt of finding a QM. See, just finding a high, low, higher, high, lower, low, or just finding low, high, lower, low, higher, high will not make it a QM. Is there a supply QM here? Uh, High, low, higher, high, low. Technically speaking, this is my supply QM. This guy. Yes, you are right. I will mark it here. Here it is. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. Okay. That's my supply QM. I will definitely take this base. I can take this as base from body to wick. Entry has already been given once. Okay. If I take wick to wick also, this guy protected. See, he gave a kiss straight. We might not take body to wick because the length is too high. Generally I don't take a risk of more than 2% per trade in on a daily candle. Perfect, Satish. Your eyes are seeing it real time. Okay, but remember, thank you, Shailesh. This check this zone here. Drop, base, drop. Okay, here is a base. So this is a reaction to that zone. You should also remember that point. Okay. So preferably look for zones like this. Low stops here. You go left, all authentic. Definitely this guy is strong. This guy is strong. That's why this trade is taken. As time progress, you will start doing mistakes of taking wrong zones. And when it fails, you say, there is no authentic zone. Oh, this is a tested zone. You will slowly learn. You will slowly learn by doing mistakes only. Look at this classic fake out pattern. Low, higher high, lower low. The zone is here. Okay, it has gone to QML level. Okay, in fact, if you look at it, see, this is a QML level. How many of you understand that QML level is the trading level? The R1, R2, R3 is exactly at QML level. Okay, and finally see the fake out, kiss fake out. You know why it went above this line? Because of this. Look at this base. This fellow, this is a base, from here to here. It's a single base, big base. Body to wick is this. So it gave a kiss entry. Yeah. MPL level, I prefer trading more, and I love to take trades in Quasimodos where the high and higher line, the QML and MPL are close to each other. There is no tension between the zones, no, where origin and source are same. I love to trade only such QMLs. That would be better. Rangaji, what's your question? Marking entry exit, please discuss. If you don't take stop loss at lower low, stop loss may hit easily. In this example, this is the low, which means this is the QML. Okay, that is point 1. Okay, second, high was broken here. Okay, when I come back, come back to the origin of engulf, this is the origin of engulf, this is the source of engulf. Source of engulf, he has taken the trade. Okay, origin of engulf, I will wait. The best trade I can get is here, draw base rally, and this zone is also one times tested, but I don't care. I will wait for this trade. If price comes here to this zone, I will look for retracement. Is this clear, Rangaji? This is my MPL zone. You got my stop loss and entry. Here is my stop loss. The body of the last week is my stop loss. That is the top cap. Okay, good. Now let me move on. This is over. Okay, so high, low, higher high, lower low. So what do I do? I take the high line, mark the high line. Okay, lower low is formed here. Lower low is already formed here. I don't have to worry. Okay, now I'll go to the source of engulf. Okay, this is the source of engulf. This is the origin of engulf. I can take this trade also. I can take this, wait for this trade also. That's my choice. Okay, now why he took this trade? Price stopped here 3 times. Abu Salem, Chota Shakil, Chota Rajan. So QML is strong. So hence he looked for that trade. See, when you are looking for a short, high and higher lie should be very clear zones. There should not be zone. See, for example, if in this location with so much of compression here, see, this is all compression, no? Okay, these are all compression, right? So in that particular location, if I get a high, low, higher, high layer, what is the point? It is a compressed zone. There where price is zigzag movements. You need to have a very clear point. What is the purpose? You are looking for a point where maximum people were killed and maximum people understand. Do not miss the essence of the whole concept. Ultimately, people are cheated. You are looking for a place where people are cheated, people are destroyed, and where you want to take a trade where maximum pending orders were present. Always in your mind, keep pending orders, pending orders, pending orders. You are looking for pending orders. Remember, this is the thumb rule. Any pattern you see, will there be thumb pending orders? Array, so many times prices come here. Where are pending orders? Where is a chance? No, I don't think so. Talk to you. Keep shooting questions to yourself. This is one guy again. Okay. So fake out, fake out, fake out, and then compression, and then liquidity and fall. Okay. So when we combine all these aspects, when we look for such trades, see, initially you will not forget. Okay, initially when you start in the beginning, your naked eyes might definitely not see many of the things that we have been talking. All right, so as time progress, you'll all automatically will come to know, there is a zone for me to trade. Okay, and hey, 2 times it has stopped here. He has got one more. Compression is happening. Okay, definitely this is a strong zone. See the kiss, this is like 1:5, 1:10 trade in a single day itself. The market depth reveal pending orders? They will reveal pending orders up to 200 orders. For that, I guess it costs 6 lakhs. Bloomberg sells it. Retail traders can only see 5 pending orders, but they can see 200. But institutions cannot see beyond 200. So definitely no point. Okay. Again, the fake out story. QML. Okay. Why this is an authentic zone? Because the previous guy is a momentum candle. 3 hours. Finally came to the Dawood level. Price retraced. And in fact, this is also compression, friends. If you can make out, this is also compression. Yes or no? I'm marking the compression again. It was not marked here. I just saw it. How many of you agree that this is all compression? The way it's going. The zigzag behavior is compression. Don't you think all pending orders are eaten up here? Yeah. What is this? What is that concept called? Coming into the zone. What do you call that? Departure should be extremely strong. Arrival should be weak. It's called the approach into the zone. Perfect. The QM in this trade is this. This is MPL. I'm too bad in drawing lines. This is QML. This is MPL. Okay. Next. Oh, this is a beautiful example. This is a beautiful. Is it crystal clear? High, low, higher high, lower low. Okay. Excuse me. So this is the exact QML level. XQML is level is here. Exact. Okay. So this high was broken here, and you will go reverse to find the origin of engulf. This is the zone to be traded, not the whole thing. This is the zone according to me. Full thing is the zone. Even if I take wick to body, wick to body was also this much only. Yeah, he has taken wick to body here. Sorry, he has taken the same thing. Can you make out, friends? He has taken wick to body. How many of you can make out that? Okay, and there are 2 times it stopped. Third time it gave a kiss and came down. It's a very clear example. Yes. Now, so let me give you one insight. Okay, this is a lesson for everyone. So what I'm trying to say is, see, this can be a high, low, higher high, lower low. Okay, but you cannot trade like this. Okay, you cannot trade like this. You cannot look for high, low, because this area is all compressed area. Your high, low, for example, there are 2 things. Okay, price are come here, come here, come here. Now it formed high, low, higher high, lower low. Do you give any weight to this? Or which is better? You look at this as a QM. It is a pattern. I'm not denying. But what are you looking for? You're not looking for QM. You're looking for a pattern where there are pending orders, right? But here I can say there can be good pending orders. Here I don't think I'm confident. That's the whole point. Okay. Going forward, don't look at just high, low, higher, high, lower, low and come back and tell me Ashok Quasimodo failed. Quasimodo doesn't fail. You failed. There is a level over a level. QM over a QM. 1 second. Let me have a look. Okay, all right. Now let us look at this. Okay, so this is actual QM level, this straight line. It might kiss, it might not kiss, that we are not sure. But this guy was broken. When we go to the base, when you go to the base point, here is the zone. Okay, the zone is this. Yeah, this is a one thing which gave body to wick also, wick to wick also. This trade is okay. There's no chance of missing it. You will definitely get this trade. And there was 2 times stoppage. Even if we get 30% win rate in Quasimodo, friends, our RR is always 1:5. So Quasimodo gives maximum RRs. Here is the examples I marked. High, I need a different color here. High, low, higher high, lower low. Do you find anything on the left? Is it not fresh? Is my example clear? Rally, base, rally, authentic zone, broken. When I go to the source of engulf, okay, okay, the whole thing, okay, body to wick. I'm sorry, wick to body, wick to body. This is 2%, so I took this trade as 2%. So give a good reaction. Who is this guy? ACC Limited. This trade came in Jan. Is this pattern very clear? Anybody having doubt with this example that I have marked? High, low, higher high, lower low, all authentic. Left side, nothing to disturb. Things are happening at a lifetime high. If things Quasimodo emerges at a lifetime high, be very happy. If Quasimodo emerges at a lifetime high, be very happy. And I nicely marked a rally based rally, which is a zone that was broken. So that rule is also passed. Okay, this is not a good fake out. Kaune, Dawood and team. Okay, even though it was stopping there, but okay, this trade is classic. Okay, but minimum 1:5 to guarantee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, here we would have got 1:5. Enough for us, nothing more. Okay, if at all there is severe compression throughout, if price is approaching to your zone like this, go for the route of compression. I am okay. Always I want 1:3. Anything less than 1:3, I don't even want the trade, irrespective of what grade trade it is. Now look at this guy. This guy is Amara Raja batteries. Okay, high, low, higher high, lower low. So pressure exerted on the higher time frame is much more strong. Okay, now we are in November, friends. This is my QM supply. This is my future trade, boys. So I will trade here. Okay, now I will wait for this approach. If by any chance this fellow, now we are in November, December started, if it comes up like zigzag, 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 by any chance to this zone, I will blindly trade this point. Okay, and remember, see, marking is my wish. It's my fundamental right. I can mark however I want. Okay, remember, this is the high. Okay, this is the high. Okay, this is a higher high, if I'm not wrong. Okay, okay, if you think this as high, this as higher high, for example, high, low, higher high, lower low, still this is a classic trade. This Quasimodo has already worked. This Quasimodo has already worked. Okay, you need to look for such Quasimodos, such clear Quasimodos. Okay, don't look for everything. Okay, here there is a high, low, higher, a high, low. Here there is a low, high, low. Hey, this has not worked. This has not worked. They will not work. Why? They are not places of pending orders. You are not looking for classic pattern. What you are looking for is pending orders. Okay, we need to apply lot of common sense and question yourself. Will there be pending order here? Itna base aaya. Why will there be pending order? Why will there be pending order here? You might spot a QM. I'm not denying. You might spot a pattern, but it will not be a trade. Yeah, I have marked the authentic zone also. No? Here I have marked the authentic rally, base rally, and that zone is authentically broken. Okay. In fact, there is also another typical observation here, friends. Low, high, lower low, higher high. Okay. This is also a classic zone. We can try. But only thing is we need to go back and see if there's any level over level. That we need to verify. Okay, remember that part. Level over level can be the biggest threat. When there is no level over level, you can be confident. Okay, no, there are no authentic zones here. I marked zones here telling don't look for a QMs in such ugly places. Where am I finding QM? Why low, higher high, lower low? Look at a broader picture. Don't look at small things. Yeah. Okay, the authentic zone thing, we would conclude only after our trials. Okay, we would complete after our trials. Okay, every Quasimodo is a cap, Girish. Every Quasimodo is a cap. Why? Because it is reversal and it is engulfing it is expected to engulf a reversal opposite zone. So every QM is also a cap, because QM will also have the origin of engulf and source of engulf. Okay, this I don't know. We need to go back and see if it's worth to be a trade. That we need to cross check. Okay, do that homework and let me know. Amar Raja batteries. So, but this is a place where I am looking forward to trade, and I am building a now my semi-automatic price action robo. Now, what I will do? This is my zone. Okay, this is 2%, right? So, what I will do? This is short. This is long. By any chance this guy breaks, no, I will reverse for this one. I will go long here. I'll short here. Even if it cheat me once, two times, third time it has to give me the big amount. Okay, so systems can take care of those precise entries and exits. I should only manually identify the pressure points. That's what I intend to do with my semi automated price action robo. Okay, now see, this is a classic pattern. I marked high, low, higher high, lower low, rally base rally, authentic zone, royally destroyed. Once I go up, okay, to the base, price can react here also. This is the source of engulf of the QM. This is the origin of engulf of the QM. But I want to trade at origin. Who is this guy? Ashok Leland. Okay, so I don't know when he comes to 165. I am waiting here. The tiger is waiting for its prey. If by any chance he does zigzag and some doom. Price action is all about waiting. Okay. See, this is the classic fake out trade. Balakrishna Industries. Low, high, lower low, higher high. Okay, this is the zone. Abu Salim, Chota Rajan, and Chota Shakil. So Dawood. Boom. Is this a much clear example? This trade came early in July. Is it fine, friends? Are you happy with this trade example? So if you keep looking, you can find many such examples which will increase your conviction on the topic. Okay, now look at this. This is a lovely pattern. Okay, and look at the momentum, rally, base, drop. So I have took wick to top body to the top wick. It is just a pattern. I want to trade this. I don't care if I hit stop loss also, but I am bullish on this pattern because of this excess momentum candles. By any chance, if this guys comes back with compression or liquidity spike, I will definitely look at this trade. Okay, so my marking is between wick to the top of the body. Why is that? That will bring down the risk. If I take wick to wick or body to body, it will be like this. Risk could be double. I don't want to take that much. It's my choice because I marked it my way. I might be wrong also. Price can come here and then fall also. I might miss it. That's okay. I don't care. But I will not risk more than 2% on a trade. I mean 2% of the price. Okay. Now look at this guy. Again, this is a future example. High, low, higher high, lower low. Okay. Okay. Only thing is this guy can fail because there was already a zone. This zone is a reaction to a previous zone. Okay. So not a good Quasimodo example. Okay. If it breaks, it can be a perfect. This is not a classic Quasimodo example because of this. Because there are zones behind it. So this might fail. Why? There cannot be good pending orders here. Or if I want to trade this level, then the better intelligent approach shall be trading, okay, here and marking this one. The higher of the highs should be the zone. Okay. So this existing zone that I have marked cannot be played. Okay. It is ruled out. Now, this is Bank of India. Bank of India, low, high, lower low, higher high. I'm sorry, higher high. Look at it. High, low, higher high, lower low. Now go back from this zone on the left. Is there a zone? There is one zone here. So I should consider this zone also as a part of the zone. Okay. I didn't park it because it could be a reaction to that zone. Before that, there is momentum also. Okay. So if I want to play, I will mark the whole thing. Never ignore level over level, friends. Very, very important. Now, one more thing, this zone I like because momentum, solid momentum, price rallied a lot. Price rallied a lot here. So that's why I strongly feel this QM should work. Why? If so much of momentum, there can definitely be pending orders. That's my simple theory. Is this an FL you marked in? Um, where is the FL? Where is the FL? I don't see an FL. This guy start broken. This guy broken big base. This guy nothing has come. I don't see any FL here. Okay, so the last example, high, low, higher high, lower low, low, high, lower low, higher high, high, low, higher high, lower low. They keep emerging here and there, but you should know where to trade. If you see this guy has worked, this QML level, they gave a trade. Of course, there I will definitely not take a trade because there's no good zone for me to trade. So even it reacted, I am not going to take this trade. Okay, but this is a level which I would love to take a trade, and this trade worked. Why? This zone is very close by and there is clear markings also. Here this is bullish, strong bullish engulfing. That's why I took midpoint to form the zone. Okay, because there was no base for me to form the zone. I want only 2% risk based on the price, so I took zone marking this way. With a small choto fake out, it moved up, that but that's okay, which means pending orders is there. Okay, so I am hoping more that I am not going to trade this supply now. I am waiting for this guy. I'm waiting for this guy. Okay, I'm waiting for this guy because momentum, 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 momentum. Look at the fall. So from 220 to 250. So almost 10 to 15% fall. So definitely there's a strong momentum. That's a classic point. Okay. So I'm going to play this Quasimodo. Then this one. So I'll wait for this trade. Ambuja Cements. I will try to take a trade at 250 levels with a stop loss of 255 levels. And there is a small level over level also. I might have to consider this guy also. I cannot ignore. Okay, this is also equally important. So this is how, friends, you need to always look at a holistic view and take trades. Okay, you need to look everyone, level over level. These are all I cannot teach you every time. As situation is, I'm marking, and purposefully some of the things I didn't mark ready made. Okay, and then I started marking it here. Okay, so with this we come to the uh, end of the topic of Quasimodo. I am sure this pattern is one of the fantastic patterns you can trade. So once you finish the session today, go back, watch the videos again and again. I'm damn sure you would get the pending thoughts and concepts about it. Plus, remember the fact that you must always remember that we are looking only for pending orders. Okay. Okay. So now it's time for the break. I'll take up if there is any more questions, uh, or else we will connect again for the next session on dancing lady and diamond pattern. In Balakrishna, it is spending considerable amount of time. Will there be an opportunity? As long as it doesn't kiss us the bottom of the MPL, you should be safe. Retracement trades is all about pending orders only. Of course, it's all about pending orders. Retracement trade is always about pending orders. So I'll wait for 10 more seconds before we wind up the session. And if there's any question, I will be more than happy to answer. Oh, looks like everybody is happy. Okay, so the next question will happen. Now the time is 11:12. So 11:45 will start. Okay, so we'll take a 30 minutes break. We'll catch up exactly at 11:35 and let's come back to learn the dancing lady and diamond pattern. Okay, friends, thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy your time. Come back at sharp 11:45. 11:45 again. Thank you.